Just give me a reason to keep my heart beating. Don't worry, it's safe right here in my arms. As the world falls apart around us, all we can do is hold on, hold on.
What is up, guys? DT Ninja here to bring you my Rurouni Kenshin, the Hokkaido Arc, Act 1 review. I've decided to split these up into two videos. The first one's going to be a review, my thoughts and, favorite scenes from the chapter. Also, I'm going to be sharing some fun facts about Rurouni Kenshin, about Kenshin's characters from this official guide. So that's going to be the first video. The second video is going to be discussion. So let's get into the chapter. As you guys all know, I got the latest chapter and the latest magazine, the revival of Kenshin, for the Hokkaido Arc. So we're going to be talking about this, and I'm going to share my thoughts and some of my favorite scenes. So yeah, let's take a look. Alright, first thing, overall feel. This chapter pretty much had everything, okay? You start off, and obviously I'll be sharing some scans from my magazine to share with you guys. But we start off in this emotional scene with Kaoru and her father, and actually her father is supposedly dead, right? Her father is supposedly dead. She's praying to him in her shrine, right? And it's a shrine of him, of his, and she's basically saying, "It's been 6 years, Father, since you passed away." And he supposedly passed away in the Seinan Wars, which is the final stand of the samurai. If you didn't know this, the last samurai, Saigo Takamori, fought against the Meiji government in the last battle for the revolution. Now, this was actually after the revolution was over, but it is the final battle of samurai. So Saigo Takamori has, this statue in Japan. It's in Ueno, if you want to check it out, in Tokyo. So Ueno is a district in Tokyo. And anyways, he is regarded as the one who never let the samurai spirit die, right? Because he died believing in the samurai spirit over modernization. And that's the reason why the Meiji government, won, because of the modernization of guns, and, they basically outnumbered easily the samurai. So if you've seen the movie The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise in it, obviously The Last Samurai, that was Saigo Takamori. So, but anyways, her father was enlisted, drafted into this war, Seinan Wars, and he fought, as one of those samurai. Now, obviously, we know that he has the Kamiya Kashin style, the Kamiya Kashin Ryu, so he didn't really think killing was the right way to do. So basically, he just, supposedly died, believing in the way of the sword, regardless what he felt, his beliefs. However, the twist in this chapter is that he's supposedly still alive. Now, this was really interesting. Another part is that, and let me show you that, because that was really touching scene towards the end, because Kaoru sees her father in this photo, okay? So they get this photo, and her father's right there, and we get this really touching scene between Kenshin and Kaoru, and she wants to introduce Kenshin to her father. So this is the real reason, and you can see he's wiping her tears away, husband and wife there. And when I saw that, I really felt like, as you all know, Nobuhiro Watsuki and his wife are both writing this story. You can actually feel those feelings between the writer, together, you know, because actually Kaoru, you know, is named after Nobuhiro's wife. So, but anyways, that was a really touching scene. I really enjoyed it. That was a really great plot twist. I really enjoyed it because at least I thought, you know, he was going there to check out on Saito, and now it turns out it's Koshijiro, which is, you know, Kaoru's father, and obviously he's alive. He didn't die in the Seinon Wars, so technically, I mean, wouldn't that make him the last samurai in a way? So that's very interesting. Or maybe he didn't even fight. Maybe he didn't fight in the war. So she doesn't know because he never came back, right? He never came back. So he's been living peacefully in Hokkaido. So yeah, very interesting stuff. Okay, another scene that I really enjoyed. I gotta say, this was pretty cool. This was really funny, actually. Okay, so basically, Aran is the, you know, Japanese American, you know, who has an American father, I believe. Anyways, I don't know if his name is Alan, because when you translate, there's not really a katakana, but I guess it could be Alan. But anyways, Aran, he tricks Kenji. Well, he gives him candy, right? He gives him candy, and he gets him to get a special book of Kaoru's father about Kashin style. So he studies all about it, and obviously it's kind of funny because he thinks he's like a master at the Kashin style, and you can see Yahiko, you know, he's naming all these things like blade halt, and Yahiko's just smacking him around. He's like, even if you know all these techniques, you still have no experience, and you can see him laid out there. So he really doesn't have any experience. But anyways, there were some funny moments like that. A really touching and nostalgic scene had to be when Kaoru was introducing herself, you know, as the narrator. She was pointing out all of the people that lived with her. Obviously, we already know Yahiko, Aran is living there, Shitaro's living there, and then we get this scene. We get this scene with right here. Okay, you have Kenshin and Kaoru, and obviously Kenji is here, and you can see Kenshin is like, "Can I have one?" And his son is like, "No way." He's like, "No way." So it's kind of funny there. But anyways, this is the nostalgic scene that has every single memory of Kaoru and Kenshin's, you know, encounter, you know, throughout the last 5 years. So really interesting stuff. And you see the family there in the center right there. Really cool stuff. And I love this scene. I would really like to have this colored, but this would be a really, really difficult one to color, I think. But anyways, this is really neat. Really touching scene. Oh, and it also shows Kenshin still has a reverse blade sword, but it's kind of like made of, it's like a cane. So it's made to look like a sword, but it's not actually a real sword. You know, he kind of still has the swordsman spirit, obviously. So he still has a sword, but it's made from a cane. So that was kind of cool. Another funny one has to be when Tsubame shows up. Okay, she shows up, and Aran, out of nowhere, he just, how he always approaches girls, he just asks her out for coffee, and obviously Yahiko was, just knocked him out with his kendo stick. So pretty funny stuff. Another favorite scene of mine, there's quite a few of them. Obviously Asahi's entrance. We learned that she was basically sold off to be, part of Shishio's faction. Well, one of these thugs tries to slap her, right? Well, basically smack her with this fan, and Ashitaro steps in, and obviously he gets, the brunt of the weapon that he uses. Well, it's not really a weapon, it's a fan. But anyways, he gets pissed off that he gets in her way, and he attacks him. So pretty awesome stuff. I like that too because they're connected in a way. They have a past, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So yeah, you see like the dangerous side of Ashitaro in this part. Okay. Now, when he drives those people off, so obviously Asahi's, set free apparently, and Kenshin intervenes. So Ashitaro's, being, really crazy, right? He's just fighting off everyone. Well, he awakens the Homuradama. Look at that. Look at that. And actually I had this colored, so I'm going to share this. And I really appreciate my friend for coloring this one because this is a really neat scene. I always love Shishio's character, and you can see it's, the soul of the Homuradama, the blazing soul. Really cool scene. But anyways, check out the color one. So really cool. And this one would be really cool also. So you got this action scene where Kenshin fights him off. Obviously with the Sakabato, he asks Yahiko for it, and he basically slashes him in the shoulder, and Ashitaro has no chance, right? Because while he's very dangerous, he has an incredible power. His sword is Shishio's. It's Kenshin. And Kenshin is faster than pretty much anyone, and he disarmed Ashitaro like that, right? And he sealed his sword, right? He sealed his sword. He basically made it impossible. In fact, in Ex-Con Ashitaro, which is the prologue for this chapter, if you don't know that, I would definitely check out my page, DT Ninja 831. On Facebook, I have the chapters translated. Basically, it's a prologue. It introduces Ashitaro's character. It tells how he came across Shishio's sword. And actually, we're going to talk about it in this discussion, so you might not even have to read it. But if you want to read it, I'll put it in the discussion below, or in the comment section below, in the description below. So if you want to read that, I'll put it in the description below so you guys can, check that one out as well. And obviously it tells the story between Aran and Ashitaro and how they become part of the Kamiya Dojo. So anyways, yeah. So this scene was pretty neat too. We get the family of Kenshin, obviously Yahiko and Kaoru, Kenji, and Kenshin, and then you got the newcomers, right? You got the newcomers, Ashitaro, Aran, and Asahi. So I really like this scan as well. Really neat stuff. I just really enjoyed this chapter. It's really refreshing. Nice action. While I notice the action is very quick. That's the only thing that I have, a negative about, is because Kenshin, even in Ashitaro the Ex-Con, he really took care of the fighter like almost immediately. And the same thing with Ashitaro. We don't see a lot of action, but it is rather rapid. So I guess it makes sense with his character, the Hiten Mitsurugi style. But obviously that's really the only negative I have about the chapter. And again, with the thug, right? He looked pretty strong, but after, Ashitaro struck him from behind, we didn't see him again. They basically ran off and left Asahi there. So that was another thing. Another scan that I had professionally colored was this one, and that is the husband and wife scene where Kenshin reassures Kaoru, let's go see your father. We're going to Hokkaido to see your father. So really touching scene. I had this colored, so I want you to take a look. It's really touching. I really love that scene. And the ending of the chapter, we have Saito, and he's in Hokkaido. Obviously, he's preparing for something, right? You got the army, lined up here. So there's something going on in Hokkaido that is pressing, because obviously this guy is a Tokyo cop, and he is in Hokkaido. So anyways, that is kind of my overall view of the chapter. Really interesting stuff. Those were some of my moments. I really enjoyed the chapter, but I have to say my favorite moments had to be Obviously, the scene with Kenshin and his family where they're holding their hands and you see all the images, that was probably one of my favorite scenes. Another favorite scenes had to be the Homuradama when Ashitaro, awakens Shishio's burning flame spirit, the blazing soul. Another one had to be where Kenshin, fought against them, because it's always great to see Watsuki's action scenes. And another one had to be when Kenshin, as reassuring Kaoru, let's go see Koshijiro, your father, and they're going off to Hokkaido. So really neat stuff. Yeah, so that's kind of my review of the chapter. So now that we've looked at some of my favorite scenes, now we're going to talk about some fun facts about Kenshin. And before that, I wanted to share some of my illustrations that I own. I have quite a few now. This is from Master of Flame. You guys know because I did a video on this. This is the mini poster of the Jupongatana from Master of Flame. This is the book it came in, the volume of Master of Flame, which is also collaborated Kaoru Kurosaki and Nobuhiro Watsuki together. And this is my latest one that I got, the clear file. I shared this already, and it's got it's double-sided. Very cool. This one was a movie special, Batosai. This was Restoration, Kenshin Restoration. Pretty cool. And then this one is a rare one. This one is Kenshin and Kaoru, happy ending here. A really rare one. And then the back of it is Kenshin and Tomo. So this is the revolution, and obviously the younger Kenshin. So you got the dark side and the lighter side. It's a very interesting one. I really love this one. This is a very rare one. You can get it in the novel. So there's a specific novel that Kaoru Kurosaki wrote, and Nobuhiro Watsuki does illustrations for that novel. So as you can see, he illustrates the novel. And yeah, anyway, so it basically follows the story of the manga, the same thing, just in novel form. So very interesting stuff. So yeah, those are my illustrations. And there is one more illustration above where Watsuki drew and signed the illustration. I've shared that before, but anyways, I'm going to share it here, so take a look. Alright, so those are my Kenshin illustration / mini posters collection. Yeah, so let's get to the profiles in this official guide. So we're going to be talking about specifically Kenshin, Kaoru, and Yahiko in this one. So let's take a look. Let me show you. This is what I'm talking about. So you can see here's Kenshin. This is the one we're going to be looking at. And then here is Yahiko on the other side and Kaoru's above. And we're also going to be talking about Kenji. So there are some fun facts that I want to share with you. Now, I'm going to share the profile, but what I'm going to show you, what I'm going to share with you is some interesting things. So like things that hobbies and favorite things, least favorite things. These are things about characters that you may not know. So let's get to them. First thing is Kenshin. So Kenshin is our first profile. Now we all know about the character, so I'm not going to read the profile for the character, but it does have fighting strength, intelligence, wisdom, emotional strength, charisma, and unique parameter. So you can see all these characteristics in the scan that I'm going to be sharing. So as well as his profile description. So it has one for Shinta, so as a little kid. It has one for Batosai. It has one for the family man. It has one for the fallen village, is after this was during the Jinshu arc. And then it has one for Rurouni. So it has 5 different versions of Kenshin. That's pretty cool. Okay, and his date of birth is June 20th, 1849. His hometown is unknown. We don't know where he is from. We don't know if he's from Kyoto, although that would kind of make sense because, he met, Seijiro Hiko nearby there, I'm sure. So we don't know where he originally is born or from. It's unknown. It says Kansai with a question mark, so maybe it is Kyoto, which is Kansai region. But that's my guess. His weapon is the true Sakabato, which is the reverse blade sword. His special skill is eloquence. Okay, yeah, he's definitely eloquent. The thing he dislikes, and this is very interesting, things he dislikes is Kaoru's cooking. I'm not even joking about this. So this is the reason why he's always cooking in this series. If you always wondered why he's the one cooking, is because he doesn't like Kaoru's cooking. It's pretty funny actually when you think about it, because he's always complimenting on her. It's not too bad, Sano. At least you don't have to. You're not supposed to force it, Kenshin. That's what Sano says to him. But it's kind of funny. He actually dislikes Kaoru's cooking. So anyway, that's part of his profile. I wanted you to take a look at the scan because it's pretty cool. It's in color too. So yeah, take a look. So let's move on to the next one, which is Yahiko Myojin. Yahiko Myojin. And Yahiko has some interesting ones. I'm not going to read the profile. You know who Yahiko is. He's a samurai, former, he has parents who were samurai, so he has the samurai blood in him. He lives by, fighting and protecting others with the Kamiya Kashin style. And he always trains thanks to Kenshin's words that about protecting others. Now, his date of birth is August 1868, and his hometown is Tokyo, and his weapon of choice is shinai, which is the wooden sword, and obviously his school is Kamiya Kashin. And now his hobby is training. He loves to train, always. His favorite food is watermelon and beef. And there's no least favorites for Yahiko. But I want you to take a look at this scan so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So take a look. Obviously, in the new one, Yahiko has grown up. He's much older. And yes, this is Yahiko in the new chapter. That's Yahiko. He's grown up now. He's a young adult. So, anyways, let's move on to the next one, which is Kaoru Kamiya. Okay, so Kaoru. This is Kaoru. Obviously, we know about Kaoru. She's the assistant master to the Kamiya Kashin style. And in the new chapter, we learned that Yahiko has become the assistant master. So he takes her role now, and she's the wife of Kenshin. She's Kaoru Himura now. Now, it's very interesting because it says her hometown is Chiba, okay, which is near Tokyo. And her special skill, it says, I'm not even joking, it says cooking with a question mark. Skill is cooking. That's what it says. Okay. If you didn't know, this was also a fun fact, that Kaoru Kamiya was actually inspired from Kaoru Kurosaki, Nobuhiro Watsuki's wife. So Watsuki sensei actually named the heroine of his story after his wife. So that's why her name is Kaoru, because his wife's name is Kaoru. So I guess he put himself in Kenshin's, character. That would make sense. Okay, next one is Kenji Himura. Now, Kenji was born in August of 1880. Okay, guys, 1880. This tells us that he's about 5 or 6 years old, set in this new era. His special skill is tree climbing. Okay, he likes to climb trees. And his favorite person is Mama, or Kaoru, and his least favorite person is Papa. So this is kind of funny because if you look here, you got Kaoru here, Kenshin, and little Kenji here. Now, Kenshin is trying to get some candy from Kenji, and he's like, no way, get away. So you can see it a little bit there. That's it for my review. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you soon in my discussion.